now. So first and foremost, I would like to welcome and thank everyone for joining in. My name is Kapil Nakra and I'm one of the co-founders of Digital Vidya. Today we have a very interesting session planned for you. The topic of today's session is Brand You. Celebrate your thought leadership on social media. Today's webinar is about building how to build your personal brand by discovering your thought leadership and design a communication strategy to be more visible and influential in your communities. To lead this session, we have with us Tanvi Bhatt. She's a founder of Panache Studio. Welcome, Tanvi. Great to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much, Kapil.
Welcome. Just to give you a little background of Tanvi, she's a pioneer of personal branding in India. Tanvi empowers leaders to become thought leaders and thought leaders to become icons. Tanvi was recognized as the best young woman entrepreneurs at the National Women Leaders in India Award 2013 for having founding Panache, which is an Indian premier personal branding company. Apart from consulting CXOs for the Indian Corporate Society, Tanvi frequently speaks at MNCs like KPMG, Pfizer, Infosys, Mahindra, Tata Group, and industry forums like CII, PhD Chambers of Commerce, TIE Conference, Social Media Weeks, etc. So I'm really looking forward to this session myself. Just to set the logistics before we start, there are a lot of people today. So by default, we have put everybody on mute. We'll have a presentation for about 30-35 minutes. So if you have any question, I would request you to keep typing it down in the question panel. And after the session, we'll take up all the questions in the chronological order. That's it from my side. Over to you, Tanvi. You can start the session now.
Great. Thank you so much, Kapil, for the kind introduction. Hello, guys. First of all, I wish you all a fabulous 2015. May this indeed be the year of all your dreams realizing into memories. I welcome you all to a fantastic session on celebrating the brand you. Thank you for joining us. I'm sure you'll be able to get a lot of insightful information on how you can start working on your personal brand at the onset of 2015. So let's jump into it because we are a little short on time today. Ideally, I would have loved to keep on rambling for the next 1.5, 2 hours because the topic is just endless. You can keep on talking about it, but the way I've designed the webinar today for you, we're going to focus on a couple of important areas. How do you discover your personal brand? How do you create a distinction about the brand you in your industry, in your community? How do you design your thought leadership strategy to be more visible and influential using the power of social media? So let's start talking about the brand you right now. Let me quickly try and get rid of this. Kapil, can you help me out? How am I supposed to get rid of this small screen which keeps on coming?
Your presentation is visible to all of us. Your brand is your thought leadership. That's the slide that is visible right now.
There's nothing else, right, on your screens?
No.
Okay, fantastic, because I can see multiple things on my screen. Fantastic. So yes, a lot of people ask me, so tell me, what really is, a person's brand? We've been talking about brands, products, services, corporate reputation, but when you talk about people, we've never really considered them as brands. So simply put, when I tell them, as a person, your brand is your reputation, it's exclusive value of promise that you bring on the table. It is nothing but your thought leadership, what you do differently. That is what makes you unique, that is what makes you special, and that is what makes you absolutely irresistible as a professional. So today onwards, the only thing you need to focus on while building your brand you is what your thought leadership is all about. Taking it a little further, when you talk about your brand, the basic context is a brand is nothing but what people think, what people know, what people feel, what people talk about you or your product or your service when you're not in the same room with them. So do we have any control over that? At that moment? No. But it's the entire prelude to what people think, talk, feel about you when you're not in the same room with them is the art and strategy of personal branding. How do you influence them to know the right things about you, know the best of you, so they are able to do justice to your brand when you talk about it? This is one of my favorite definitions of what a brand is really all about. It's a set of expectations, memories, stories, and relationships that taken together account for a person's decision to hire you or somebody else to want to work with you or want to work with your competitor. Simply put, it's a beautiful ensemble of everything that you bring on the table. Your values, your passions, who you are as a person, what do you love to do, what do you dream of, your aspirations, the goals that you have in your life, how you are taking strategic measures to accomplish them, what is your brand community, how are you adding value to them, and all these things, when they are built together with a focus on being more visible and influential in your industry, that is the power of personal branding for you. But before we go into that, ask yourself, do you really think you are a brand today? Because a lot of people tell me, Kandi, I don't think I'm there yet. So my only question to you is then, do you think you have a reputation? Think about it. I'm sure you have a reputation, whether it's good, bad, ugly, let's not go there right now, but you do have a reputation. And what people know about you based on the kind of work that you've done, the legacies that you've built in your organization, in your business, in your art, if you're an artist, that becomes your reputation. If you have reputation, like I said, by default, it becomes your brand. Whatever you call it, brand, or your identity, or your word of mouth, whatever you call it, let's just call it your brand, for argument's sake. And what you believe your brand is worth, is capable of, the potential you have, eventually the world will start believing in it. So the first step is self-acknowledgement and celebration of the brand you. But what happens if you still don't take the initiative to go ahead and get serious about your identity and reputation in the industry? What happens when you don't take a proactive initiative or control about building the desired brand reputation? You leave yourself at mercy of others to let them think what they may about you. You become vulnerable. Why? Because you're not taking the efforts to let them know the best of you. That makes you vulnerable. But when you do take the onus of complete brand control and nurture it the way you should, because it's your brand again, it's the reputation, it's your credibility, the game changes. You then go from being victimized to being the victorious party on the table. You let people know who you really are, why you're different, what makes you unique, what makes you special, what are your inimitable talents, what is that absolute unique promise that you offer to them. And that is what they will know, think, feel, and talk about you from this moment on. My dear friends, this is the way the future is evolving, the future of managing your identity in this crazy socio-economic business landscape that we find ourselves in today. People want to know who you are. They want authenticity in what value you bring on the table. They want to know that you are somebody who is capable of being trusted, who is approachable to get some value from, who is actually having some exclusive value to add to their lives. Only then they're going to give you any kind of validation or attention or even the admiration and respect that you deserve as a person and a profession for doing some absolutely exclusive work in your industries. This is the future. Future belongs to the power of building your personal brand in a way that it truly becomes worthy of being celebrated. The future belongs to what you do today, online as well as offline. Of course, online has become so integral today because for every second thing that we may want or we may be curious about or we may be interested in, what we do is we go and pay our respects to the geek Google God. How many times in a day we really go and pay our respects to the Google God? Think about it. every second thing that you probably have no idea about, or you're curious to know, you want some validation, you want some reference check, you want some mass opinions, you want some reviews, every second thing is validated by Google God. And in the future, so will your personal brand. Your digital brand print that you will start building today is going to be subject to scrutiny and evaluation of who you are, what you're doing online, what kind of social identity you have, what kind of social engagement you drive with your communities, what value you bring on the table, how many followers you have, how big of an influencer are you. All these things are going to matter, and how. And I'm not talking about 10 years down the line or even 5 years down the line. I'm talking about a year or 2 years down the line maximum. A lot of people tell me that, okay, Tanvi, I understand, that yes, I do have the power to become a brand and to become an icon of my industry. But how do I do that? What is it that takes me from just being me to a brand? Let us understand what is it that differentiates just being you to being the brand you. Let us discover what are the 4 W's that build up the brand you exact. The 4 W's of building your personal brand are: who are you as a person, as a professional? What do you do? Whom do you do it for? And why? You are the go-to guy, the best person for the job. When I say who are you, this is definitely not your name or your title or your designation in your organization. It is who you are as a person and a professional, and what you love to do at work. What do you do? It's the kind of work you do, the value you bring on the table, your expertise, your areas of skills, your strengths. What is it that you get paid for? That exclusive work or professional contribution that you bring on the table in your business or at your job matters not. Whom do you do it for? Very interesting and very critical area of your brand. Whom do you do it for is essentially your target audience. So people who get direct or indirect benefit from coming in contact with the brand you. What is your target audience? How are they getting value from you? Why does it add exclusive value to them, and why you are the best person to do that for them? Why you are the go-to guy, why you are the subject matter expert, and what is it so special about you that the next big opportunity should find its way to you. Now, I want you to take a moment and reflect on these 4 W's for the brand you. Ask yourself these questions. How can I craft my 4 W's and create a compelling signature statement for my personal brand, which tells the world, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is whom I do it for, and this is why you must work with me and only with me. That is how you craft your personal brand statement or your so-called elevator pitch, whatever you want to call it as. I like to call it as your personal brand statement because it encapsulates every single attribute of your personal brand and what makes you so special. Let's take a moment to just think to ourselves, what is it that goes into the making of these 4 W's for each of us? So, I know, it's not that easy. It's just not going to come to you out of the blue saying that, hey, this is what my brand statement is all about. It's not going to come to you sitting on a webinar with me right here, right now. You do have to put in some serious thought and serious level of introspection to understand yourself better and discover what is it that makes you really, really special. Let me give you a few tips on how to discover the answers for each of these 4 W's. What goes into the crafting of your personal brand statement? What kind of introspection you must subject yourself to. But before that, let's take a quick example of how these 4 W's can shape up. Everybody knows the brand Branson, the go-to guy for the world which believes in adventure, fun, and doing something absolutely unignorable. So who is Richard Branson? He's an eclectic entrepreneur, absolutely passionate about adventure and adulation. That makes it him, definitely. What does he really do? Of course, apart from running, multi-billion-dollar worth of conglomerate, he has fun in everything that he does across his n number of organizations and companies. But he has fun and he ensures that his customers also have fun. Every single brand of Virgin is based on that soul. Every single brand ensures that the community, the customer base, the client base are a part of a fun and adventurous family. Who does he do it for? The target audience that enjoys being associated with a brand like Virgin. Free-spirited, bold, adventurous, fun, seeking, I would say, people, our brethren, globally. And why is Richard Branson indeed Richard Branson today? He is Richard Branson because he's more than being just a businessman. What really differentiates him as a person, what makes him so formidable is he never says no to anything. He's always game, always on, always doing something absolutely unimaginable. He's somebody who truly dreams theirs and goes and does what it takes to build an iconic business as well as a beautiful planet. Let's take an example closer at home. I hope many of you all have heard of the gentleman called Gautam Ghosh. He is an HR professional and very good friend. What is it that makes Gautam Ghosh a case study today? What is his brand all about? So who is Gautam Ghosh really? Am I saying that he's an HR professional? Well, no. That's just what he does. That's the industry he works in. But who is he really? His brand is all about. He's a social business evangelist. What he does is he spearheads a part of social learning and culture transformation for an organization by leveraging the power of social media in the social digital age today to influence organizations to become more social and evolve as social businesses. Who is the target audience? Is it the organization that he works with? No. His thought leadership is all about constantly adding value and enriching the HR fraternity. And why is he even being considered today? What has he done that makes him so special? He has evolved as an influential thought leader in the social HR universe in India today. He is the go-to guy today for organizations who want to leverage the power of social media for evolving themselves into social businesses, for building their talents and branding their talents. Today, he works as the talent director at Flipkart. That's what Brand Gautam Ghosh is all about. You can look him up. He's very active on Twitter. Please do drop in and say hello to him. Right. So what is it that made Gautam Ghosh the Brand Gautam Ghosh that we discussed right now? His absolute and sheer passion for everything social, everything HR, and how to combine these two things to do something remarkable. Everybody has their own passions. What is it that you love to do? Ask yourself. That is what makes you you. That is what defines your life. That is what makes your life worth living. The power of your passions. What do you love to do at work, at play? How can you combine those two things to create a really interesting value proposition for your communities? Ask yourself, when was the last time you completely lost track of time? What were you doing then? Ask yourself, what would I want to do for the rest of my life if I didn't have to earn a living? If you won $500 million today, how would you spend the rest of your life if you didn't have to just go and have a job anywhere else? Ask yourself, what is it that I'm so good at that I could actually write a book on? Ask yourself, what are those to die for talents which I have within me, my genius, my skills, my strengths, which people really would love to pay for. And ask yourself, where am I going? What am I doing? What I want to build? What matters to me? What kind of a legacy I'm going to leave behind? Your legacy, more often than not, will always evolve from your deepest passions, things that you love to do, things that make you happy, things that give you a sense of fulfillment, and things that you can actually spend a lifetime doing. Your passions and your values form the soul of your brand. That is what differentiates you in this world. Values are your ethics, morals, principles, foundations that you set your life on, things that you cannot give up, immoralities. Your value will determine how much the brand you will get valued in the future. Ask yourself, what are those moralities which I cannot live without? I will never give up of, not even on gunpoint. Infuse the power of your passions and values in crafting the soul of your personal brand. Use these insights in answering to the question, who are you as a person? Values and passions, along with your dreams, is what makes you an absolutely inimitable person and professional. So where is your 2015 headed to? What is that dream that you've seen for this new year? Not only this new year, just talking about this new year because we are at cusp of new year. What is the dream, the vision? What is the difference you want to make in your life, in your careers, in your businesses? What are you all moving towards? Get the world in on your dream and take them together towards the realization of it. Ask yourself, where am I heading? Then go ahead and you can ask yourself, why am I headed there? Why does it matter to me? What is the purpose that drives me every single day to go ahead and conquer another goal, another dream? Your purpose is what fuels your personal brand every single day. Try and define tangible and achievable goals for your career and your business for the next 2 to 5 years. Dreams and visions are beautiful, but unless they are defined with the power of immaculate goals and milestones that, when achieved, will definitely take you a step closer towards your dreams, life is meaningless. When you're doing all these things, the most important thing for you to understand is, can I accomplish all these things, or am I just dreaming or daydreaming, as they say? Do you really have those strengths, skill sets which will help you achieve those dreams? What are your strengths? Play by them, because that is what sets you apart, your skills, your genius, the talent which you have within you, the passions which have been honed to be transformed into your strengths. Your motivated skills are those skills which you may not be very good at right now, but you enjoy doing them so much. It motivates you to get better and better and better at it. Your strengths and your motivated skills are the go-to skills for your brand. People want to work with you because you see you doing a fabulous job because of your strengths, and they see you being super excited and taking the lead and initiative because of the motivated skills, which gives you a jump start on every opportunity that comes your way. This is how you will focus on your introspection. Ask yourself these powerful, hard-hitting questions. What are my passions, values? How does it translate into the soul of my brand? What do I dream of? How do I convert it into tangible goals? What makes me special? What are my strengths? What do I love to do? What are my motivated skills? And how do all these things brought together make me a unique brand, a unique person, a unique professional? Use the insights that you get from all these questions to craft the position for your personal brand or your brand distinction, I would like to call it. The brand new distinction is nothing but how exclusively you position yourself in your industry, how you carve a niche for yourself that you and only you can dominate, how you fortify your brand with your areas of expertise, how do you differentiate yourself from the people sailing in the same boat, having similar degrees, having similar work experiences, having similar dreams. Who are these people? Look around in your organizations, look around in your business, look around people who are worthy of being called your competition, who are having something which you can compare yourself with. But always be aspirational, always look at people doing some amazing work out there. If you don't want to look down, you want to look up, because that's where we are headed. Differentiate yourself. Ask yourself, what are the similarities and differences that I have with these people? Ask yourself, what is it that distinguishes me as a person and a professional? Use the insights that you've got from your values, passions, your career trajectory, your dreams, aspirations, your achievements, your accolades, and combine it with your 4 W's that we focused on earlier. And finally, once you've done all these things, arrive at that one invincible position for your brand, which nobody can capture. It is truly you, because that is the exclusive value you bring on the table. That is your bragging rights for your brand and your claim to fame. Once you've defined your brand position, it's time to share your brand story with the world. You've completed the entire introspection exercise. You've created an invincible position for the brand you. Now, it's time to share your brand story with the world. We human beings are wired to fall in love with people whose stories connect to us, whose stories resonate with our stories, whose stories inspire us. And that's what we are going to do with your brand story. You're going to craft a brand story which is not only going to help you connect with your target audience, but also inspire them to be a little more like you. How do you do that? 5 essential steps to heart-warming and winning stories are yours. First, open your story with the 4 W's of the brand you. State your brand with a big bang. Okay? Further on, make the brand you completely irresistible. When I say irresistible, this is where all your industry and organizational recognition, awards, accolades, everything that you've achieved, those numbers, facts, figures go your, which solidify your credibility in your industry. Once you've done that, take people through a beautiful journey of your brand. Right from the day 1 of your career to day 0, which is today. What have you learned? How has your brand grown? Where were you working? What are the responsibilities and accomplishments you experience in those profiles? How have you grown? Time travel with your brand. Next is, once you've stated the professional map for your brand, connect them at a deeper level. Connect them to the soul of your brand. What are your passions? What matters to you? What are the aspirations or dreams that you have? And finally, before closing the story, this is your wow factor. You have to paint a picture to them. So this is where my brand is headed. This is what I want to do for my brand in the next 2 to 5 years. Get them excited to partner with you in your journey. Get them want to meet you, talk to you, hire you, or do business with you. That's the end goal ultimately, right? To be 1 in the million who's chosen. So when you're starting to craft your stories, do remember these are the 5, I would say, elements of creating stories that connect, inspire, and become memorable. Once you've crafted your brand story, it's time to share it with the world. How do you now share your thought leadership, your brand story with the world? What is it that is going to make you visible, influential, and powerful in your industry? Understanding that this is the beginning of my leadership journey, the definition of your thought leadership, the crafting of your brand stories is the step one. Self-acknowledgement and celebration of your personal brand is the step one towards your leadership. But it doesn't end there, you know. That's the beauty of personal branding. You're not just all about yourself. It's not about I, me, myself. It's not about what I want to do, where I want to go. It's all about this is who I am, this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to add value to my communities, at my job, in my business, to you. Ask yourself, in my journey towards realizing my dreams, how am I going to add value to others so that I'm not only enriching more life, but I'm empowering them to even live their dreams. Ask yourself, as a leader or a thought leader, where am I taking the world? Because if you're going to lead to the destination of your choice, I think you'll end up there all alone. But if you ask yourself, where is that my community wishes to reach? What do they aspire for? What are their dreams? And how I can make a humble difference in helping them realize their dreams? That is what is going to differentiate the journey of your brand and the realization of collective dreams and making a lasting impact in your community. Ask yourself, how can I consistently add more value to my communities? How can I be more visible? How can I be more accessible? How can I do more of less so that people truly know me for that exclusive one value I bring in their lives? How is it that you're going to focus on that thought leadership that you want people to know you for? Always stand for one small single thing that nobody can dissociate with your personal brand. Personify something. The smaller you focus, the larger your brand identity and equity will become. Once you've done all these think tank, it's time to go ahead and put your brand on the map. How do you create strategy to be more visible? How do you ensure that people know you for that exclusive value you bring on the table? I'm going to give you my new age mantra of thought leadership. Everyone knows that phrase, master finance, but the definition of what it is, which you must be the jack for trades. Definitely, you even have to be the king of some. You have to be absolutely great at a few things, but there has to be that one value, one expertise, one area of thought leadership which you are going to be the emperor of, which hold your hand onto. You are the goal. You are somebody who can beat all. That is how you communicate your leadership, by getting clarity on these three areas, by crafting your brand value pyramid, or your thought leadership pyramid is what I like to call it as. Know what is that emperor value, that exclusive value which you bring on the table, your pink areas, or 2 to 3 other areas which you're really, really good at, okay, and those jack areas which you are decent at, you can get it done. 5 to 8 of your expertise, professional value contribution to your organization, to your teams, your businesses, which people are going to want to remember you for. This is what makes you the guru guy in your industry. Let's see quick examples of these. This is a guy called Amit Agarwal. He's a techie. Okay, and he's a very popular techie to that. How does his brand pyramid look? His Emperor value is all about personal technology. If you go to his blog, which is one of the most popular blogs on personal technology and everything, Google and web apps and social media tips, called labnol.org, you will see the kind of brand he's built for himself. So this is how his brand pyramid looks. Personal technology, web apps and computer software and computer gadgets, social media tips and Google Suites, everything Google. That's what he has built his personal brand on. I am sure most of you all have read or heard about this amazing gentleman called Devdutt Pattanayak, also known as the Chief Belief Officer at the Future Group, but a very well-renowned author and a columnist with Economic Times. What makes him special is his passion for mythology, Indian mythology in particular, and his insights from that wisdom, his learnings and teachings which he applies to today's challenges of Indian management and leadership. So what is his brand about? It's all about mythology. He's a storyteller, an author, a columnist, the management guru, he's a leadership consultant, he's an artist, an illustrator, and the most shocking of it all is actually a doctor of medicine. Look at how he's evolved his brand over years to home into the things that he loves to do, things that he believes he's good at and creates lasting impact for his communities by adding that exclusive value inspired by Indian mythology, ancient wisdom, and applied to today's challenges of business. This is how you should craft your brand value pyramid. And once you're ready with that formidable pyramid, what you need to do is put it all out there in a very well-designed strategy. What you do, where you do, how often you do it, what is the target audience that is seeing your work, doing the right things at the right platforms at the right time is only the beginning of building the brand you online and being more visible and influential in your communities. So let us see what are the things that we can do to build ourselves, to build our brand online and have a direct impact in building our reputations offline. Today we have n number of tools at our disposal for building the brand you 2.0, I would like to call it. We have LinkedIn, which is considered as the personal branding or the professional branding platform in the world. Google Plus, still not as popular as the Facebooks and Twitters of the world, but definitely has a lot more incentive to be on because ultimately it's owned by the Google god, right folks? Twitter, yes, the brand me platform, you know, everything I am, everything I think, everything I tweet, all comes down to what people know, talk about me. YouTube, the video world, the window to your world, or rather, you know, something that helps you and live in your personal brand online, you know, more than bits and bytes and give people the real experience of what your brand is all about. Facebook is not a very highly recommended platform for personal branding. It's more personal and, you know, friends and families, and unless you're a business person, you're into service or products, Facebook could probably help you in personal brand building. If not, then not the best place to concentrate your energy. SlideShare, WordPress, Instagram, Pinterest, and finally the www, the World Wide Web. You know, the world is your home, and you need to own a very critical piece of digital real estate in today's world, which is nothing but your own website. Something that you have complete control over, the kind of content and value which you put out there for people to know you, your work, your thought leadership, your expertise, your thoughts, your dreams, everything in one place. As technology keeps on evolving, we really don't know how many of these former icons of LinkedIn, G+, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube would be there taking care of our personal brands online 3 years down the line. But if you own that exclusive piece of digital real estate on your own website, it's something that you're going to own forever. So the first step anything that you guys must do after going back from this webinar is go ahead and book your own domain. Okay, you have to own your own domain today. That's step one for personal brand building. It can be your name, full name.com. It's like I have a tanviha.com. Everybody must have their own website, their own domain. Let us have a few quick insights into what we can do on the LinkedIns and Twitters and Facebooks of the world. Of course, this presentation is probably going to be shared with all of you all, but let me quickly run you all through a few critical points. LinkedIn is going to be your go-to personal and professional branding platform. You need to have a very well-branded headline, who you are, what your brand stands for. Your summary must be filled, a very professional-looking picture out there, because today, people don't even Google you so much as they LinkedIn you, because that's the go-to place to understand how influential or credible or how well-connected a professional is in today's world. So please focus all your personal branding and professional branding energies on building a stellar LinkedIn profile, connecting with similar thought leaders in your industry, and sharing exclusive value by publishing on LinkedIn, in addition to obviously publishing on your own blog if that is something that you already have or that you should have. Twitter, it's all about living in the moment. Huge party going on across the world. You can reach out to almost anybody that you wish to talk to. You can learn from almost anybody that you could care enough to follow. A few tips to use Twitter: always focus on who you are as a person on Twitter, not just your profession, not just your personal life, but what combines all these things in making you. Talk about your passions, the purpose, what you're there for, what is it that you dream of, what is the value you're bringing to your communities. Personify that one thought that you want people to think about the moment they think about your name. Brand a Twitter handle. Don't make it explicit, just make it memorable. Make it witty, but don't borderline on, I would say, indecency. Okay? Use Twitter very well because pictures are very important. It's become the Facebook with limitations to your thoughts being penned down. So use your Twitter very well when it comes to pictures that you are sharing on Twitter, whether it's your background, your headshots, cover, or even your Twitter feed. Okay? Remember that it's all about communities on Twitter. Ensure that you follow the right people who add value to you. Ensure that they are also following you back for some exclusive value that you bring on the table. Having your own blog is very critical to be really hailed as a thought leader. You can host it on yournamefullname.com like we discussed, your own personal website. You can have a free hosted blog on WordPress as well. Video blogging is definitely the next big thing. If you think that is something you can pull off, I highly recommend you to have a video blog on YouTube or a Vimeo or anything else that you believe you're comfortable with. If it's a wine or a tout, whatever it is that you think you can add into your personal brand experience, please do that. Always, always, always build your blog with content focus. You can use your brand pyramid for inspiration. What kind of expertise which you would like to share over there? What are the topics that you would like to write about? A couple of ideas that you can write how-tos, industry reviews, case studies of organizations in your industry. So having a well-read blog is have a mail list. Encourage people to subscribe to your blog because only then you'll be able to spread your thoughts and your thought leadership. Google Plus, YouTube, definitely the social media platforms of the future. You really need to be there on both these platforms. But the most important takeaway from this session is having your own website as a step one for building your personal brand. If you think you're not very much out there today, not ready to have your own property on the web. There are certain alternatives like About Me, Visify, Brand Yourself, and Profiles.coms of the world to own that small piece of real estate, in addition to obviously the LinkedIn, the Twitter, the G pluses. Once you've done all these things, being there on these platforms, how do you ensure that you're going to add value to your communities? By being yourself, by bringing in exclusive value to the organization, to your teams, to your communities, to your industries. But before you do all those things, there are a few things which you definitely should not be doing. Don't be inauthentic. Don't copy others. Don't ignore social media because you don't get it. Don't be lazy by just making your profiles and not updating it and not being active over there. Don't be a disoriented brand like haywire all over the place, not having clarity or focus on content and value which you bring in. Don't be antisocial. Don't keep on being the boastful brand. Always focus on engaging and enriching with people. Don't be the wanderer brand. Have a strategy and a goal plan for your brand. And never ever underestimate the power of one bad tweet on social media. My advice to you is that don't brand yourself online. Don't do all these things online. Brand identity and promise what you bring on the table. How to deliver a stellar brand experience. Step 1, friends, go ahead, build your brand using these tips and strategies. Communicate your brand, put yourself out there, talk to people, engage with your communities, add value to them, walk the talk, deliver on your promises. If you tell them this is what you're good at, prove it, add value to them. And finally, this is the reason you will be able to eventually rock your brand to success. The promise that you need to make, the clarity that you need to have, being consistently visible, accessible, constantly adding value to your communities. These are the 3 C's that are going to take you to the nirvana state of personal brand building, having a credible and go-to brand status in your industry. But before doing all those things, step 1 for you today is understand what is it that people know, think, feel about the brand you. Because if you want to reach somewhere, you need to know where you are today. If you want to start building your brand, you need to know what your brand is today. You need to have that insight and understanding of what people know about you, what people think about the brand you, what are the perceptions that you've built till date. What you need to do is go ahead and do a personal brand audit. Okay? It's a brand assessment which you can do to discover what people know about your personal brand, what they really think about the brand you. That's the step 1 in building your personal brand. Understanding what your brand is all about today in your industry. Because all you need to do is to know your brand well enough, be your brand, and grow your brand over a period of time. And map your journey from being just you to brand you and being absolutely iconic. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed the webinar, and I'm sure it's been able to add value to all of you all, and I am open to questions. Of course, I'm very social, active on LinkedIn, Twitter, G+, Facebook. You guys can reach me wherever you wish to, if you have any questions beyond the scope of this webinar.
Great. First of all, thanks, Tanvi, for a great session. Really thought-provoking insights. Definitely something that will keep me awake for a few nights from today onwards. So I'm sure the same would be true for a lot of other people. There are a few questions which are already posted, so I'll just take them one by one. The first question is from Harika.
Okay.
He wants to know, how often should one be talking to their audience to build a brand, especially for young budding entrepreneurs? Also, how long does it take to build a brand? I know it's eventual and a self-learning process, but on an average, how long does it take?
Kapil, can you give me a moment? I'm running out of battery. I just quickly need to grab my
Sure.
charging cord. Okay, give me one moment. I'll be right back.
Please do that. By the way, guys, by the time she's coming back, there is a poll for all of you. You know, Tanvi has an organization called Panache. So if you want to know what people think about your brand and you want Tanvi to support you, you can just mention yes over here and I'll forward your contact to her. Okay, we'll take another few seconds to complete it. I would request all of you to please do that. Another 3 seconds, 2, 1, go. Great, Tanvi, are you back? Guys, I have around 6-7 questions right now posted, so I'll take up all of them. Tanvi, do let me know once you're back. Okay, guys, by the time Tanvi is actually handling the voice and the power issue at her end, here's another poll that I'm doing. You can take it more like a commercial break. If you want to do an online course in digital marketing, you know, as Digital Vidya, we do that. And if you're already participating, you just mention already participating over here. Or if you want us to contact you on this, you can just mention yes over there and someone from our team will call you and assist you on this. Tanvi, do let us know once you're back. Guys, we'll take another few seconds to complete this and then we will move on. Great. Tanvi, are you back? Yeah, Suresh, I got you have few questions to ask. I've seen your earlier comment as well. So I'm just waiting for Tanvi to be back and then we will have the Q&A. Seems like Tanvi is offline right now. Wait for another couple of seconds. Yeah, Tanvi is logging back in. Hi, Tanvi. Are you back now? Tanvi, if you could hear me, please respond. Guys, a lot of you were saying that you need to rush somewhere. So we would be giving you the recording of this session along with the presentation or the email, and we'll send it to you in another couple of days. Looks like there is some problem at Tanvi's end. So I'll just wait for another couple of minutes to see if she's able to resolve it. Thanks, Ivan. Thanks for your comment. Great, guys. Looks like she have logged off. She's not been able to handle that problem. So one thing that I'll do is I'll send you a mail with the recording, as well as there would be a link to a blog post that we'll go do regarding this session. And all the questions that you currently have posted already, I'll email all those questions to Tanvi. and then she'll possibly reply back at her convenient time, possibly within the next few days. And otherwise, you can actually post your question as a comment there, and I'll invite Tanvi to respond back over there. I think Tanvi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, Tanvi. Good that you're back.
Hi, great.
So we
Yeah,
still
I
have
guess I got connected.
another few minutes to go, so we'll take up the questions. Thanks a lot. So I was first question is from Harika. She wants to know how often should one be talking to their audience to build a brand, especially for young budding professionals, and also how long does it take to build your own brand? And I know it's eventual and self-learning process, but on an average, how long does it take?
Okay, so let me answer first question is you need to be socially active as far as social branding is concerned on LinkedIn or Twitter or Google Plus, posting interesting content, branded content, content from other thought leaders in your industry, your communities, approximately 4 to 5 times a day at regular intervals to be visible in the sight of your communities. That's one. Only visibility is not getting you the desired credibility. What you need to do is engage with people and build relationships, because ultimately you just don't want to promote content or share content for the sake of sharing. It has to result into something which is more meaningful, which obviously translates into opportunities, business opportunities, or job opportunities for you in the future. So you need to even take it to the next level by engaging with your communities, thought leaders or influencers in your industry, and get to know them better, get them to know you better, more importantly. That's one. It depends, really on what kind of work you are doing, your industry, what kind of career stature you are in right now. But I would say it takes anywhere between, 1 to 3 years to be recognized as, the go-to guy in your industry. And that is with a very dedicated effort on building your brand identity, visibility, and network, both online and offline.
Great, thanks. Guys, I'm actually trying to respond to some of the questions since it's short of time. So another sort of difficult question for you, Tanvi, is a question from Subendu. Do you think the brand Rahul Gandhi can be redesigned?
I think yes. I have still not, hung my boots on the brand Rahul Gandhi. I think for somebody who's a public figure, the kind of work footprint that they do is really the game changer in their brand identities. Because anything and everything that we know or hear about them is media fed, and media can change sides at the drop of a hat. So what really needs to happen as far as the brand Rahul Gandhi is concerned, real work at grassroots level in changing the lives of people that he has an impact on over the next 5 years or 10 years or whatever political career he has dreamt and designed for himself, to evolve as somebody who's really worthy of taking the Gandhi family legacy to the next level. But yes, I personally think there's a lot of work that can be done and should be done by the brand Gandhi.
Great. So good to know your views about it. Another question is from Vishal. He wants to know how to deal with your weaknesses in the journey of building brand you.
Okay, that's a great question, Vishal. We strongly believe that, as human beings, we are bombarded to hone our weaknesses, get better at it, get better at it, get better at it. But what we often ignore in the process is, honing your strengths. Instead of, focusing all our efforts and energies in, doing some things which are not very good at. Of course, I'm not saying it's not important to get better at your weaknesses, especially if they have a direct impact into your professional life. But in that process, you cannot afford to neglect those strengths or skill sets which you're already very good at and which is going to be the game changer in your career or your business. So my personal recommendation to all of you is, do spend 30 to 40% of time in trying to get better at your weaknesses if that has a direct impact on your life and career, but focus major energies in channeling your strengths and becoming so good at those things that nobody even cares about what you're not good at or your so-called weaknesses.
Great. So another question is, by the way, guys, if you have any further questions on what Tanvi is responding to, please type it down in the question panel and I'll take it up. Another question is from Suresh. He wants to know how to manage this social branding when being a budding entrepreneur, you're already engaged in the core business and you're not creative at this social presence. And since brand identity is something when you need to be creative with a lot of good content it requires to get connected. So I think it's the challenge is that as an entrepreneur, you're worried about day-to-day business. I mean, how do you really make sure that you take time out and, for building your personal brand?
See, for entrepreneurs, I strongly recommend, work with experts or consulting companies or digital agencies or social media consulting companies to get the best bang for your buck, because depending obviously, if it's a startup or how well you're doing, whether you have the kind of commercials or budget in place, to take branding as a serious investment, I would strongly recommend you to work with well-established experts and consultants or agencies in your industry who you believe will be able to do justice to your personal brand as well as corporate brand. Because what happens is, your personal brand and corporate brand become very interrelated as an entrepreneur. Everything you do has a direct impact on your organization, and you need to be the, name, face, ambassador, custodian of your corporate brand as well as your personal brand. So ultimately, your responsibility is to build two brands at the same time, and it is a formidable task. So please, go ahead and entrust your brands into the hands of people who know what potential your brand has in evolving in the next 2 to 3 years, and trust them with their job.
Great, guys. So I think I've possibly taken all the questions in some form or other. If there is any question that you have, we've already exceeded by 3 minutes. So if you have any question that you really want me to address right now, you can just raise your hand. I've just put down all the hands right now. So you can just raise your hand and I'll unmute you and we'll have an open conversation about it. Otherwise, I'll, in any case, send you the recording of today's session. So I'll wait another couple of seconds if anybody wants to have any question or any open conversation. Great. So guys, as I told you before, we'll be sending you the recording of today's session. Looks like somebody has raised hand. Sachin, yeah, I'm unmuting you. Yeah, Sachin, what's your question? Sachin?
Yeah, hello.
Can you be a little louder?
Hello.
Yeah, you're audible now.
I wanted to ask you, like, for some of the heavy products like furniture, can social media marketing really help them except doing promotion only?
Tanvi, have you got the
Kapil,
question?
I haven't been able to hear him. Can you please repeat it for me?
So the question is that for the products like furniture, can internet be really helpful for anything other than lead generation? Sachin, is that's what you want to know?
Yeah.
How was that question related to personal branding? I didn't understand that. But nonetheless, yes, I think so, Sachin, very much. If you are, the designer or the manufacturer or even the vendor for these brand of furniture related products, apart from lead generation, getting brand visibility, being constantly present in front of your target audience, your prospective buyers, customers, adds a lot more value to your brand, because people don't really buy furniture so regularly. It's once in years. But how do you ensure that your brand touches more than just buying consideration and adds more value to them on a daily basis, to different areas related to living, home, design, architecture, tidbits about getting some innovative design areas, ideas to the house. All those things can really help you be on the forefront of consideration why people would probably want to, invest into furniture. So social brand management for somebody like you will definitely be very critical in the long run.
Sachin, is that fine?
Yeah, thank you.
Great. Let's take a last question. Namarendra, I've unmuted you. What's the question? Namarendra, looks like there's a lot of disturbance from your side. You're not really audible. Great. So, guys, I think in terms of all the questions that have already been mentioned, we picked up all the questions. So really want to thank all of you for your participation, and really want to thank Tanvi for taking time out. It's been really, really, wonderful session for me. A lot of questions to think about. I think one of the learning that I'm taking back,
Thanks. Thank you so much.
How to focus on doing more of less, because when it comes a difficult time, I actually tend to focus more to do less of more, and how to change my thinking. That's something that I'll definitely work on. So thanks a lot. Thanks for a wonderful session, and thanks for taking time out. Yeah, that's it from my side. So thank you, everybody. The session is closed. You'll soon get the recording and the presentation link on email. Thanks a lot. The session is closed.
Thanks, Dr. See you. Bye, guys. Take care and have a great year.